Welcome to my channel Starwire Daily. Please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates. There are secrets that royalty tries to bury, scandals that palaces work overtime to hide. And then there's Prince Andrew. For years, the world watched as whispers turned into headlines, as denials crumbled into silence, and as one of the most powerful families on earth struggled to contain a storm that refused to die down. What if everything we thought we knew about Prince Andrew's fall from grace was just the beginning? Tonight, we're pulling back the velvet curtain on a story that has captivated and horrified the world. This isn't just about scandal. This is about power, privilege, and the price of protection. Let's rewind to a different era. The 1980s, when Prince Andrew wasn't a cautionary tale, but a heartthrob. The press called him Randy Andy, with a wink and a nudge. He was the dashing helicopter pilot who served in the Falklands War, the bachelor prince who dated models and actresses. The media adored him. In 1986, he married Sarah Ferguson in a ceremony watched by millions. Two daughters followed, Beatrice and Eugenie. But by 1996, the marriage was over. Yet Andrew and Sarah remained oddly close, living together on and off for decades. Looking back now, you have to wonder, did she know things that the rest of us didn't? Fast forward to the late 1990s. Prince Andrew is jet-setting around the world as a trade envoy, supposedly promoting British business. But reports emerge of extravagant trips and questionable connections with oligarchs. The press calls him Air Miles Andy. But even that nickname seems almost innocent compared to what was coming. Because during this time, Prince Andrew is cultivating relationships that would later destroy him. And one of those was with a wealthy financier named Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein. That name now carries so much darkness. But even in the early 2000s, there were whispers, questions, victims trying to speak out. And somehow, Prince Andrew kept showing up in Epstein's orbit. They were photographed together in New York. Andrew stayed at Epstein's mansion, flew on his private jet, visited his private island. And here's what makes this disturbing. In 2008, Epstein pleaded guilty to soliciting prostitution from a minor. After that conviction, after the world knew what kind of man Epstein was, Prince Andrew was spotted with him again in 2010. They were photographed in Central Park, walking like old friends. The palace scrambled, issuing statements about ending the friendship. But the damage was done. Then came Virginia Giuffre. She claimed that when she was 17, she was trafficked by Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell to have sex with Prince Andrew on 3 separate occasions. London, New York, Epstein's Island. She had details, dates, and a photograph. That photo, taken inside Maxwell's London townhouse, showed Andrew smiling, his arm around young Virginia's waist, with Ghislaine in the background. It should have been a smoking gun, but Andrew denied everything. He denied remembering Virginia, claimed the photo might be fake. For years, even as allegations circulated, Andrew remained a working royal. The Queen stood by him. The palace protected him. Then, in November 2019, Prince Andrew made the biggest mistake of his life. He agreed to a BBC Newsnight interview. His advisors warned against it. His private secretary resigned rather than support it. But Andrew believed he could clear his name. What followed was a masterclass in self-destruction. For 49 minutes, the world watched him dig deeper with every word. He claimed he couldn't have been with Virginia because he was at Pizza Express in Woking. Pizza Express. The specificity was almost laughable. He said he couldn't have been sweating profusely because he had a medical condition from the Falklands that prevented sweating, a condition that apparently cured itself later. He expressed no sympathy for victims, described his friendship with a convicted sex offender as convenient, and framed staying at Epstein's house as being too honorable. The interview was a disaster. Social media erupted. Sponsors cut ties. Organizations removed him from positions. Within days, Andrew announced he would step back from royal duties permanently. He lost military titles and patronages. But he kept his 30-room mansion at Royal Lodge, his security detail, and his mother's support until her death in 2022. But Virginia Giuffre wasn't finished. In August 2021, She filed a civil lawsuit in New York accusing Andrew of sexual abuse. His legal team tried everything to get it dismissed. None of it worked. As the case progressed, the prospect of Andrew being deposed, forced to answer questions under oath, became terrifyingly real for the palace. Then, in February 2022, weeks before his deposition, Andrew reached a settlement with Virginia. Reports suggested millions of pounds. No admission of liability, but a statement acknowledging her suffering and expressing regret for his association with Epstein. It meant the case would never go to trial. For Andrew, it was a way out. For the public, it was deeply unsatisfying, because settlements don't provide truth. They provide silence. So where does that leave us? Prince Andrew remains largely out of sight. He's no longer a working royal. When King Charles was crowned in 2023, Andrew was relegated to the third row in a mourning suit, not military regalia. It was symbolic. But here's the thing. Andrew has never truly faced accountability. Never been charged, never testified under oath, never answered for his actions beyond that BBC interview. The settlement allowed him to avoid all of that. He's still living in privilege, still protected by family, wealth, and a system that shields the powerful. Maybe the darkest truth isn't just about what Andrew did or didn't do. Maybe it's about what his story reveals about power itself. How many people knew? How many saw him with Epstein and said nothing? How many doors remained open even after Epstein's conviction? Ghislaine Maxwell is serving 20 years for trafficking minors. Epstein's victims courageously shared their stories, naming powerful men. Yet so few have faced consequences. Think about Virginia Giuffre. She was 17. Whatever the legal technicalities, she was a teenager who spent years being dismissed, disbelieved, attacked. She watched her abusers live freely while she lived with trauma. Prince Andrew's story is disturbing not just because of allegations, but because of what happened after. The palace machinery, the way supporters attacked his accuser, the way he avoided prosecution and settled quietly. Has the darkest truth been uncovered? In some ways, yes. We know about Epstein, the allegations, the disastrous interview, the settlement. We know he's been exiled from royal duties. But in other ways, the full truth remains locked away behind confidential settlements and sealed documents. We may never know everything. What we do know, the myth of Prince Andrew is dead. What remains is a cautionary tale about privilege unchecked, about surrounding yourself with the wrong people, and about the courage victims need to speak truth against the establishment. The palace may have weathered this storm institutionally, but something fundamental changed. The world has seen that even princes can have dark secrets, and the palace will choose protection over truth. Prince Andrew's story isn't over. He still lives at Royal Lodge, still maintains innocence, still has family support in private. But history won't forget. The victims won't forget. That's his legacy now. Not service or honor, but scandal and unanswered questions. He represents everything wrong with a system valuing reputation over justice, protecting power over people. Maybe his fall will mean something. Maybe it will embolden other victims, make powerful men think twice, remind us that no one should be above the law. What do you think? Has justice been served, or is this another example of the powerful escaping accountability? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you found this valuable, hit that like button. It helps us keep uncovering stories that powerful people don't want told. If you're not subscribed, now's the time. We're diving into celebrity scandal and royal drama every week. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching, and remember, in a world full of PR spin, sometimes the truth is the most shocking story of all. Until next time, stay curious.